Use it to cut metal and then grab the metal.
That'd do it. Yeah.
Did you do that? Did you burn your hand up?
As if I did it once.
Multiple times.
We could be slow learners over here in North Carolina.
After time 1, do you not go like, oh, this is a gloves task? This is definitely a gloves task.
It's just easy to forget that like 60 seconds later, it's nearly as hot as it was when you were burning it when it was red. It's since stopped glowing red and it looks like it's cooled off, but not to touch temperatures.
I looked up years ago what it would cost to like rent and correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it an acetylene torch you use for cutting metal? Like that's
oxy-acetylene.
Oxy-acetylene. Yeah. And so I was looking up like renting one of those because I bought my power rack from Titan Fitness when they were like not as highly reputable as they are now. Like they were sending stuff incorrectly to people's house. Like I bought a short power rack for my basement. And they sent me a long one. And so like it's literally in between supports. Like it's so high. And I was like, I'll just chop the top off of these with an acetylene torch and then this and that. And I like watched a YouTube video and I was like, man, well, I've never done this before. And I bet my cuts are going to be even uglier than this guy. So let's maybe not make a bunch of ugly cuts into the supports of this.
So the tool for that, the tool to do that is a handheld bandsaw. Then you can make a really a link
to cut through that thick steel.
To cut through, yeah, absolutely. The tool for that is this handheld bandsaw. You can rent one of those really cheap, and you can't fuck that up, and you won't burn your house down.
Crazy. How does that cut through this like thick ass steel?
Well, it's a bandsaw, so if you can imagine that blade doesn't reciprocate.
It goes in a band.
And it's a good blade.
I would go in a different direction. Kyle's idea is a really good one. That's what a pro would do. However, if you just had a right hand angle grinder with a cutting wheel, it'd do the job. And I bet you'd find uses for that angle grinder for the rest of your life.
Interesting.
As a man ages, he becomes more useful as his tool collection expands. And I'm here to help.
I've got all sorts of tools. Ex-father-in-law gave me a shit ton.
Oh, okay.
Made out like a bandit on that. I got a garage full of tools.
Oh,
probably not, aggregated as
he
much.
He keeps asking for him back, but
I've got a gigantic air compressor. I've never used it.
I still talk to the ex every while, but I'm no contact with the ex-father-in-law.
No, he's going to ask me for that giant red Craftsman container bag. Yeah, that tool chest. Every time I go out there to look for a tool like I need, I'm always like, maybe like the mystery box out there has it. And then I'll like just open up some drawers and be like, my God, it does. It has the thing it has the thing I need. That's crazy. It fits exactly. And it has the corresponding ratchet, So that was pretty nice.
That is nice.
Acetylene torch is an incredible tool though. It's like a fix all. It's like when the wrench didn't work and the pry bar didn't work and the hammer didn't work and your buddy couldn't show up, you're getting melted. You're getting melted. It's over. I got 3,000 degrees of whoop ass here. You're in big trouble. And you just cut through whatever the fuck is in your way. Anything and everything. It'll cut through.
It's going to look bad though. Isn't it like going to beat up and drip down?
It's not going to look great.
Look ugly.
Yeah. We're trying to get things. Yeah. It's not a precision tool per se. It's like I said, it's like, fuck you. Yeah. I win kind of tool.
Even if you're good with an oxy-acetylene torch, the cut will look bad. It needs to be cleaned up with a grinder.
Yeah.
But again, anything, nothing stands in the way of that. It's
there is a certain like, man, I've gone through 4 cutting wheels. This one's a toughie. The oxy-acetylene knows no match. Like it will cut everything I've ever had to cut.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun. It's fun turning a piece of steel into liquid and watching it go away.
Do you wear one of those cool welder masks while you do it?
I usually wear some goggles, like just a smaller or even tinted glasses. Sunglasses work pretty well. Like if they're dark enough, but there are like welding grade sunglasses that are a little darker than they look like. You look like a blind guy kind of, or maybe like Arnold from Terminator 1 for something like that. Cause it's bright enough to sort of give you that blindness, that temporary, like it's too bright to look at. Like you don't want to stare at it too long.
I gave myself, this was a few years ago now. So I was like a real adult doing this, and this like bug got in my house and I just got it in my head. I like smacked it out of the air, using the I go like this, but I was using a towel to snap it, and I snapped it out of the air, and then it fell on my carpet, and I just wondered, like, I had this super high lumen flashlight, and so I was like, can I just kill it with a super high lumen flashlight?
You melt the carpet.
Well, I didn't hold it that long, but I did get this giant high lumen flashlight. And I just kind of leaned it on the carpet, and I was just like looking at it, and I was like, I think he's already dead. Okay, well, I guess he's not moving at all. I think I must have killed him with the towel snap because he's not moving. I did that for like 90 seconds. And then like I looked around my room, and I just had like a dead spot, just a bright red spot in my vision. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to, if this is permanent, I'm going to have to hide this for the rest of my life, because someone's going to ask, how did you get the blind spot? And I'm going to have to ask, or have to say, I was trying to fuck with an already dead bug in my living room. And all it did was get it really hot, because I got a paper towel to pick up the bug and its remnants afterward. And I was like, "Oh, that's a hot bug." It's really, really.
I can just see Taylor being like, "Well, you see, I had a staring contest with the sun. That's my cover story. I don't want them to think I'm stupid."
Yeah, I don't want them to think I'm a fucking idiot.
Got your cones and rods all messed up.
That is my. Aside from the fast food reveal picture of Trump, my number one favorite picture of him is Melania with like the special glasses looking at the eclipse, and him just kind of like, they caught him like in a moment where he like squinted up at him without any glasses on. And that's hilarious. Just everyone's like, hey, wear this, dumbass. And he's like, not for me. Just looks right at the sun.
Those lights will melt your carpet, though. I know, because I turned a 2 million power candle light, or 2 million candle power light on one time in the back seat of my dad's truck, and it had a button so that you could leave the trigger depressed. You like pull the trigger, and then you hit where the safety would be on a pistol, and it locks the trigger in place. And I actually left it in the back seat face down, and it just melted right through his back seat by the time we got out of Hardee's.
Damn.
Yeah,
that sounds like a much more powerful light than what I was
incredibly
using.
Powerful. Yeah,
I want one of those flashlights. There's a subreddit devoted to flashlights. I'm on it, of course. And like, these guys buy $600 flashlights. They come, they're so excited. It's Christmas, and they compare them against each other. But I can't rationalize the purchase.
So the one I had was like the pistol grip one that's cheap. So it like plugs into your the lighter thing in your truck. And those are like $60 or something like that. I have used those incredibly expensive ones. When I went up to Texas, that guy who's a 100 millionaire, he had those, and they're big and they're ridiculous and they're heavy. And it's like, this is well made. What do these cost? And like you said, they're like $500 or something. When you turn them on, they turn the Texas wilderness into daytime. It's a pure white light that like mimics sunlight. It's like, what the fuck?
The dude on the subreddit, like
show
some
this,
of them throw
Mac.
a laser almost, it's almost laser adjacent, the kind of thing. And some of them have this huge, like, wide arc, and it turns the mountainside into daylight, like you said. I want to see what this
show that picture, Zach. Pull it up for everyone, because this is the kind of flashlight that seems so up your alley, Woody. Like, I know your interests in things, and this is. I would love this. I know the smiles and the joy it would bring you to have such a bright flashlight to be able to show off. Yeah, wow, the picture is a guy texting his DoorDash driver, I guess. And he can't find his house, and he says, "Look to the sky, follow the beacon." And the guy says, "What? Oh my God, I see it." So follow the beacon.
That flashlight, you could. It's a Noctagon K1 with a W2.1 emitter. It's $90. It's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
Crazy.
The one I linked here is 2 million candle power. It's $60. Like those are crazy bright. We would use those for hunting. I don't think it's technically legal. We wouldn't use it for deer, but for varmints, you're allowed to spotlight them. But it's not supposed to be that bright. I think there's a candle maybe. I don't remember what the limit was, but they specified how many candle power you could use against them. But it was like, come on.
They lie about their candle power numbers in the marketing.
I've seen YouTubers who go through and like check. They lie about their laser wattage, but the other way. You know, because there's a limit on how much wattage they can legally sell, and it's like, but when they test them, the YouTuber's like, "Oh my god, this is like a medical grade laser. They just sent this from Amazon. It was $45." Like, what's that link again?
I love it when they do that. There was a company that sold gummy bears with THC in them or whatever it is, and they're like, everybody else is undercutting you. That's why ours get you so much higher. When we say 100 milligrams, we mean 100, and then they get sued because they would say 100 and put like 190 in there.
Yeah,
that's why they were so
fucking at least 100, whatever. It's like, all right, well, let's get. I remember a really rich friend of mine growing up. His dad had a flashlight that, and you know, like Reddit wasn't a thing. We were younger, and it was like you held it almost like what is that handle called with shotguns where you like hold it by a handle above it and shoot? And it was sort of flashlight, and like you could shine it. We would like shine it on each other, and it would make your body immediately hot.
Yeah.
Like it heated you up so rapidly.
If the flashlight's pointed at you.
If it was pointed at you.
Wow.
And it had such a wide spread. And they lived in a suburban area. So I can't imagine the use case for a flashlight this powerful.
Stupid question, but the difference between a flashlight and a laser, is it just how concentrated the light is?
No.
Okay.
It's the spectrum of light, right?
Yeah, lasers are lasers use a whole different technology. They didn't invent lasers until like the 70s or something like that.
Really? That recent?
So. I know it's a United States of America invention. That's one of ours.
You can
it's
buy
definitely not.
Flashlights with a lens on them that make them fire starters, which I think is great.
Oh yeah, some company sent me some flashlights one time. One of them they sent, they're like, this is the world's brightest flashlight, and it would start. You could start newspaper with it, like up close. But it was useless.
Leaves.
Yeah, those were. Oh, it was the same. It was Wicked Lasers. They had that. They made the 1 watt lasers, and then they also made like what they called the world's brightest flashlight, which wasn't, but it was incredibly bright. It would start campfires.
I bought a Mag-Lite years ago, thinking it would be a useful flashlight. Those are the worst flashlights I've ever seen in my life. I had a small thing like half the size of a credit card on my keys years ago that was brighter than a Mag-Lite. There's the biggest dead spot in the middle of it. You turn that thing on the top to adjust the power and the scope, and it's just, you may as well be wishing for it to become more bright.
They just didn't keep up. They were good lights they were comparatively good lights, like in the 80s. You know, you get a big one. I've seen a guy need a car jack, a jack stand, you know, like you put under an axle while you changed a tire. Sure. He was changing a tire on an off-road vehicle. And he used a Mag-Lite as a jack stand, and it held up his car while he changed the tire on it. That's the quality to which they were built. But if you want something that shines light, like I got one in my pocket that's brighter.
Yep.
Yeah. Seems like you could just replace that other function of the Mag-Lite with, as the Simpsons would say, an inanimate carbon rod. Well, look at that. That's of course. Yeah, of course you have a flashlight on it.
You can use it as a tool too, though. You know, it's sturdy enough to use as a hammer or as a weapon or any number of things. And like what he said, it's really hard.
Better though.
It depends. You might be somewhere where you're not allowed a weapon, but you are allowed a weapon.